From a successful Colorado hunt, we return to one of the nation's premier hog hunting locales, Central California.
The first portion of our hunt had us on the Bear Valley Ranch near Parkfield, California. Now, Parkfield's claim to fame is that the town sits squarely on the San Andreas Fault. But more importantly, it's also the epicenter of the Golden Triangle of hog hunting. The cities that form the 3 points of the Golden Triangle are Colingus, Paso Robles, and King City. The first item on the agenda of our hunt was to find a meat pig, something that would taste great on the barbecue grill. You're not looking for a big old boar. You want to find something that's 100, 125 pounds, even a dry sow. Weatherby's Mike Swiebert took us to the Bear Valley Ranch to find just that kind of hog. But the finding wasn't that easy. We hunted all day, looked over a lot of pigs that we couldn't even get to, but our luck changed just as the sun started to go down.
Good shot. All right. Good job. Good job.
Yeah, she's done.
Hey, good job.
Oh, that'll be good on the grill.
Oh, you bet. You bet. And we were specifically looking for a hog about 80, 90, maybe 100 pounds.
That's what she'll go.
Preferably a dry sow.
Yep.
And man, on the spit, this is trophy eating.
She gave me the perfect shot too, quartering away. I could get it right in behind her shoulder and up forward. There'll be a lot of good meat there.
What were we, like 15, 20 yards?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Boy, that 30-06, it did a job on her.
It's taking a lot of animals. Well, I suppose we better get to work on her.
Sounds like a plan.
Well, that was a great hunt with Mike. To put some fine meat in the cooler, and it was a challenging hunt. And I wanted to have some more fun in California. I wanted to go after a big, long-tusked boar with the handgun. That pursuit led us to Camp 5 Outfitters on the Indian Valley Cattle Ranch with guide and co-owner Doug Roth. The standard operating procedure here is to get high and glass down onto the barley fields early and late.
When these hogs start coming out in the fields in late afternoon like this, will they stay out all night?
Yeah, they're pretty much nocturnal. They're just starting to come late spring. They're just starting to come in the grain fields. The way these kind of stick up in here. There's about 2,000 acres of barley planted, and anytime the barley gets close to these brushy canyons and draws, that's the places they're going to come out to first.
Now, is the barley planted primarily for wildlife, or is it something that you'll harvest part of later?
No, it's a harvested crop. We harvest the grain. Pigs feed on it springtime until we do harvest it, and then even after the harvesters harvest the grain, there's an awful lot of it left over that they feed on all summer long.
You judge a good boar primarily by its teeth?
Yeah, it's tough to judge the teeth when they're out there in the field unless you're really close to them, because unless they're 2 inches long, you really aren't even seeing them protruding from the gum yet.
Yeah.
You can see the gum raised up. We can tell a lot by the size of a pig. He's an old boar, but sometimes they will break their teeth off. So sometimes you don't know, unless you're real close to them. Then you can see, if you can watch them eat, open and closing their mouth, you'll be able to judge the trophy that way.
I've heard that these are becoming or have become California's #1 game animal.
It depends which fish and game person you talk to now. They're real close. Some say that they've surpassed deer as the #1 game animal in California. Some say they're just real close, but they're getting right up there.
Is that number of people hunting them or harvest, or?
Number of people hunting them. What's your effective range, you think, on that pistol you're shooting?
Well, I know that the pistol and the cartridge and the scope is good out to 200 yards. But I like to get a lot closer than that, because that's the fun, I think, of hog hunting is getting as close as you can.
Sure.
So inside 100 yards.
Sure, okay. That's certainly doable with these pigs. Their eyesight's real poor. Sense of smell and hearing is real good, but their eyesight is quite poor.
Yeah, I think one of the key things about hunting with this kind of pistol is got to get a rest, whether it's on the bipod or a bush or something, no matter what the range is. How much will a good boar weigh?
You know, when they get up around 2-inch teeth, it seems like those pigs weigh about 200 pounds. They can get up to 300, 350 pounds, which are awfully big pigs. 200 pounds is a real good pig.
Look at this one coming in, Doug. By himself.
Yeah, that's a nice pig.
Kind of yellowish red with lots of black spots. Good sized pig.
Yeah,
though.
he's a boar. Pretty good boar too. Sometimes you can look at the length of their tail. You know, if they get a real long tail, almost looks like a horse tail, gives you a pretty good idea of the age of them. So when you get one pig by himself like that in that tall grass, sometimes it's a little harder to judge at this distance how big they are. But boy, he's got a big old long tail.
We know that there's a big group of pigs out in the end of the field. He's probably headed for them.
Yeah.
Think we
Mostly
can
sows and little pigs.
Would that wind work in our favor?
Yeah,
Think we can sneak in
I would
there?
think if we go right down here, just go right around the edge of this point and just stay up out of the field just a little bit. I think that they're going to tend to feed down the field as the evening goes on. If we can get a spot there and just get set up and see if we can let them
go
feed
over there and
past
get
us.
across the field onto that point.
Yeah, well, why don't we do that?
Let's see what we can do. Just keep following him. Spot him over in the
Bill,
That's a nice hog. Just coming on straight. I want to get him turned. It will. Before he gets right on top of us.
We should have stepped that off. It was probably 50 yards.
At the most.
Hey, nice pig. Want to check him?
Yep. Oh, he's done.
All right.
I love it when everything goes right.
Boy, look at them teeth.
Yep.
It looks like he's got about 2-inch teeth. Good pig. Neither one of them are broke. Good upper teeth.
Always amazes me how easy to see those teeth are.
And what those pigs do is that's how they keep him sharp. Every time he's eating, they're just rubbing back and forth, and that upper one just keeps sharpening that lower one. They're
That's where the razor edge
they're
is.
razor sharp. If you just pressed on that little bit, you could just cut yourself real easy. Real good defense mechanism.
They can eat about anything, can't
Yeah, and they do eat just about anything. They're real survivors.
they? How long does it take for a hog to get this size?
This pig, I would guess he's probably 3 years old just by the size of him. He's definitely in his prime. His teeth are still growing. His teeth will get bigger. He's got pretty good teeth, almost 2-inch teeth now. But he's probably a 3-year-old pig.
Well, I think that pretty much proves it. There's some wild hunting in the Wild West. But remember, you don't have to bag an animal to be successful. The joy of the hunt is in the pursuit.